So let's talk about Symmetra for a bit. So I came to Overwatch from League of Legends, and as soon as I came here, obviously I went hunting for a hero that would sort of fit the playstyle I had in League of Legends, which, in League of Legends, I main Singe and Nasus, which are, champions with no mechanical skill involved in them whatsoever, or very little mechanical skill. They focused all on macro play, they focused on controlling the map, they focused on fulfilling their own little niches and doing it very, very well. And that's pretty much what Symmetra does in Overwatch, except she's more of an extreme example. Whereas, Singe or Nasus in League, you could play pretty much every game and you could still do well and kick ass. Symmetra, you can really only play on defense maps, and even then, she's really only meeting her max potential when you're playing her on static point defense maps, such as Volskaya Industries, Hanamura, or the first part of Numbani, for example. Basically, she can cut off an entire flank by herself, which is one of her massive strengths. She's not difficult mechanically. Her weapon is literally just hold left mouse button and things die. Her right click, well, I mean, you could say it takes skill to aim, but it's so hard to aim, you pretty much shouldn't even bother. I mean, you can see me here, I'm just shooting it down the lanes, hoping to hit something, and occasionally it will. And that's pretty much all you can hope for. The only time you can really aim it at something is if you've got a very slow Reinhardt with his shield up. You can sort of try and aim it to hit him and go through a shield. Or, you've got enemies in a Zarya ultimate or something like that. You're pretty much not going to hit anything anywhere else. You just got to sort of hope that people walk into it. But that's the thing. She's not a very difficult champion mechanically. Oh, sorry, hero rather. Still in that League mindset here. She's not a very difficult hero mechanically. I mean, I'm just walking up to this Hanzo and damaging him. But she focuses mostly on the macro play. She's a support, but she's a different type of support. She focuses on keeping the map under control, which is, what Symmetra's lore is about. Order, control. She wants to, restore balance, fucking chaos, or I don't know, some crazy fucking mystical shit, whatever she does. But the point is, she supports it a different way. And I initially didn't like her classification as a support when I started playing the game. Like, she's not a support. I mean, she gives 25 HP shields to allies, but they're rather paltry. I mean, they do help, but they're not amazing. How is that support? Then I realized, she can place a teleporter, which is phenomenal. Death respawn time is, 10 seconds in this game? And then you got to walk all the way back, especially if you're on a map like Volskaya Industries or Temple of Anubis, and you got to walk all the way back. It's a long walk. The teleporter can cut that down by like 15-20 seconds. Your team's back in the fight 15-20 seconds earlier, and that's amazing. That's a different type of support, which I actually really do like. That they haven't just decided to shoehorn supports as, just healers like Mercy or Lucia or Zenyatta. They've said, okay, we're going to make a more indirect support, one who's sort of more of a defensive support, a more niche one, and she supports in a different way. And that's pretty much what Symmetra is, and I think it's why she's not really played all that much. One, because, in my opinion, there are only a few maps that she does really excel on, and she only excels on defense, but she's just got this very, very niche thing. She doesn't have immediate results. They're not as apparent. I didn't think that I was doing well with Symmetra when I picked her up. I'm just like, right, I enjoy playing her. I'll play her on these defense maps where she works well, and, we'll see how we go. And, I thought, hey, I'm doing alright, I'm having fun. But then I checked my win rate with her, and it's like 75%. I'm like, holy shit. She's like my highest win rate hero. And I didn't even notice. And that's just the thing, You notice when you revive 5 people with a Mercy ult. You notice when you fucking sound barrier your entire team and protect them from a Zarya plus fucking, I don't know, Hanzo ultimate. You notice that shit. You don't notice when you're bloody teleporting all these people back as Symmetra and holding the first point for every single game that you play. You just don't. It's not as satisfying directly, but it really, really does work. Now, I think this presents a bit of a problem for Blizzard because I think that if people play Symmetra ridiculously well, and I think that people will eventually start to pick her up. I know she probably won't be as amazingly good in the pro scene, because in the pro scene you can really coordinate. You can just be like, right, Symmetra's cut off an entire flank by herself, which is one of her strengths. She set up a microwave room. Right, let's just all blitz the microwave room and we'll overpower it. So she probably won't be seen all that much in the pro scene, but in terms of pubs where you got uncoordinated teams where people will just filter into your microwave room one by one, or will just be so terrified of it that they'll avoid it and your team can focus on the other flank, like, that's just ridiculous. And she can really just shit on uncoordinated teams, which is what she does, and I think it's one of the reasons why my win rate is so good with her, because I'm so good at macro play from playing, Nasus and Singe from League, that I understand the sort of, how the maps are meant to work and how significant it is to have one hero holding an entire flank by themselves while the rest of the team can do other shit, So, I think she will present a bit of a balance problem for Blizzard a bit later on, because, people will continue to maintain that there's nothing wrong with Symmetra. She's fine, man, because, she's useless on attack. She's very situational. She's got her niche. But yeah, her niche is very, very good, and when played to perfection, she's incredibly powerful. She's not like Widowmaker, who, if played to perfection, would just shit on everyone anywhere, no matter the game mode. Obviously, that's a bit ridiculous, which is why Widowmaker is receiving her body shot nerf soon. But it still is, a very, very significant thing, and I think that, I think we might see some changes to Symmetra in the near future. Now, one thing that I personally do think they should look at is her shielding. Her ability to give shields to allies. She can, give a 25 HP shield to each ally that will last until they die and must be applied when they respawn. Pretty simple. Personally, I don't think it's all that significant. Obviously, if you give it to like a Tracer or a Zenyatta, it is significant because 25 extra HP on 150 is a considerably higher percent increase than, giving it to a 600 HP Roadhog. Like, that's just obvious, but, it's really not much, and I think it's them trying to justify her being in the support role, which, like I said, they should just say, yeah, she's a support. She supports indirectly. She's not a healer. She works best when there's a healer on the team to help the team out as well. But she's not. She's not a healer. She supports indirectly. She cuts off flanks. She helps her teams get back from the fight quicker. She doesn't revive. She just helps them in different ways. And I seriously think that the shield thing is just them trying to say, like, look, guys, she's support. She gives shields to her allies. Like, I just don't think that they do enough consistently to be that amazing. And I think that they should look to change that mechanic. Maybe, like, if they really want to keep it, they should do something like, I don't know, make the shields 10% of your allies' HP instead of just a flat amount. That way, they won't be as powerful on things like Tracer, where, her shields used to give 50 HP apparently. So that would just be ridiculous on like a Tracer who will get 25% HP increase. But you could solve that issue by just making it a percent, like make it 10% of an ally's HP. So you give it to a Tracer, she gets 15. Not ridiculous, but still considerable for a Tracer with low HP. You give it to a Roadhog, 10%. That's an extra 60. That's good for it. So if they want to keep that mechanic, then I think that's something that they should look into doing. Maybe change it to a percent increase instead of just a flat amount, because a flat amount is just too inconsistent in my opinion. It's too good on some heroes and it's too shitty on others. When it comes to Symmetra's primary weapon, I really like the design that went into it. I do like the fact how in this game, the most mechanically complex champions are countered by the least mechanically complex champions. So for example, Tracer and Genji, they're countered by Winston and Symmetra. It's just the two heroes that rely all on this mechanical movement and being precise and making the right decisions at the right time. They're countered by people who just hold left click and deal damage. I really like that. I think it makes their counters easily accessible. I think it, it stops people from saying, like, oh, like, when they get beasted by one of these heroes, like, oh, this hero is OP, fuck this, when, they just been shit on by a really good Tracer or Genji. It's not like Widowmaker, where she's just consistently powerful no matter what she's up against. They have counters. A team of 6 Genjis is going to get molested by a team of 6 Winstons. I mean, that's just going to happen. The secondary fire I also like a lot as well. I think a lot of people probably don't like it. They probably just think it's weird. I think that's probably what turns a lot of people off of Symmetra. They think, like, she can't do any damage consistently at long range. Yeah, she has these long range weapons that do a lot of damage, but they're slow as fucking hell, man. You basically gotta hope enemies bumble into them. The only time you can aim them is, like I said before, if you've got an ally Zarya ult, or they got a Reinhardt who's slow moving, you can shoot it through his shield. That's pretty much the only time that you can really aim them. But I think the purpose is they're not really meant to be aimed. They're meant to just be zone control. They're meant to just be shot down a flank or shot down a choke point and basically just deny it from the enemy. Make it so that people don't want to go down that choke point because they're going to be hit by a bloody, 120 damage, I believe it is, at full charge Symmetra orb, and they're just going to get chunked down, and they're going to walk into the microwave room and get zapped. So it reinforces that whole area denial, that zone control playstyle, which I really, really like about Symmetra. Like I said, she's the indirect support. She focuses on, you know, helping the team get into the fight quicker. She focuses on cutting off flanks and like allowing her team to focus on other areas of the map. She supports in that way. And in that regard, I really do like the secondary fire and the primary fire as well. I think that I wouldn't want it to be changed. I don't think that Symmetra's primary weapon needs to be changed at all. I think it's really, really good and really, really well designed. I like the heat mechanic as well. I like the fact that you can totally shit on a team fight if you know, get that shit charged up, and you can be a considerable damage dealer. Yeah, you're not that powerful at long range, but don't get close to a Symmetra. She will zap you. And it doesn't matter how many people you bring, she'll zap the other person right after she zaps you, and she'll zap them 3 times quicker. And that's what I really do like about the primary weapon, and I hope that they don't change it too much if they ever do plan to. So that being said, I think a lot of people are turned off by Symmetra because she's just too niche. Like, I do like the fact that she's niche, but even I'll admit she's probably too niche. She excels on static defense maps, pretty much. So, Hanamura, the first part of Numbani, Temple of Anubis. Pretty much any payload map she's not really good on. Unless, like I said, you know you have a team where you can like hold off the payload at a choke point and you can cut off one of the flanks to that choke point with Symmetra. But she really needs to set up. She needs to be in position. She needs to get her teleporter in a good place. And she can't really do that on attack. Obviously, you can make her work on attack, but it's nowhere near as easy or consistent as making her work on defense. And like I said, she doesn't have those direct results. She doesn't have that direct impact like, you know, Mercy or Lucio does. She has to be indirect. She does indirect things. She provides indirect shields. She has that teleporter, which provides an indirect advantage to the team. She does things indirectly. She's the indirect support. She supports in a very, very different way. And I really like that. I think it's really unique. And I think she's one of the best characters in the game in that regard. And I really do hope that she sees more play. People start realizing her potential. Right now, she is just a situational pick, like I said before. She's really, it's just only good on the defense map, only a good old static point defense, pretty much useless on attack. And I think that sort of, yeah, puts people off learning it, because they think, okay, why would I bother learning fucking Symmetra when I can learn how to play Mercy or Lucio and play them on pretty much any map? Although I'll maintain that Lucio is better on attack or, hell, static point defense as well. You know, she has a very, very firm identity, which I think could work against her. You know, I'm normally in favor of things with very, very strong identities. You know, in League of Legends, Singe, very, very strong identity. He's the, you know, AP bruiser tank who runs around, kills people who are running around. He's very unique. Symmetra kills people by left-clicking them, can cut off whole flanks by herself. Very, very unique identity. And I think the fact that, you know, Overwatch only has 21 heroes at the moment, they have room to do that. And I think that people should be experimenting and trying out different things, especially Symmetra, especially Zenyatta. You know, they might think, oh, I fucking died, you know, really, really easily as Zenyatta. Okay, well, you're not positioning properly, you dumb fuck. I mean, you used to have the example of, you know, oh, Widowmaker just one-shots me, but she's not going to be able to do that anymore without a headshot because her body shot damage is getting nerfed. So, there you go. Start playing Zenyatta now, he's a bit better. So, yeah, like, people will be put off Symmetra. People are put off Symmetra. I mean, her play rate, she's not played all that much, especially on offense. Or at least not as much as, say, something like a Torbjorn or supports like Mercy or Symmetra. Fucking hell. How do I English? Mercy or Lucio. But she's literally, in my opinion, the most effective support on static point defense. She just straight up is. I mean, there's really no contest there. I mean, Mercy, yeah, she can revive the whole team and hold off the flank, but you gotta hope for a whole team revive. You gotta hope that you stay alive. There's so many situational things. Symmetra just dropped the teleporter in a safe place, which I'm not really doing too good of a job here on the second defense point on Hanamura. Honestly, I probably should have switched out to something different because this area is quite open and the turrets are very easy to destroy. But hey, I wanted to play her, so whatever. But yeah, the only thing you gotta worry about with Symmetra is your teleporter getting destroyed, which, you know, if you put it in a smart place, shouldn't usually be destroyed, but I mean, you can be a bit more risky with it. I like putting it like right at the stairs on the back of the first defense point on Numbani, like right there, like literally like 5 steps away from spawn. It's like a really aggressive teleporter. Just a tactical choice that you can make with it. Risk versus reward. You can get the team to fight quicker, or you know, you can have the teleporter be a bit safer. And yeah, I think that a lot of people just try her out and they just do shit with it at first because they don't really understand her playstyle. I did at first, and I'm just like, I think I'm not getting this hero. I'm gonna watch some videos about this hero, look at other people playing it, and like, oh, that's how she's meant to be played, right? And then I just started molesting people with it. So yeah, although it might seem a bit self-serving, I think if you're wanting to learn Symmetra, you know, watch other people play her. Watch people who played her a lot play her. I'm sure there's a lot better Symmetra players than me out there, so, you know, go look them up as well. But, you know, watch people play whatever you're looking to play. See how they do things. And that's pretty much a good idea with learning anything in this game, you know. I couldn't get the hang of Reaper. I'm like, how the fuck do I play this hero? And then I watch other people play and be like, oh, right, I should pretty much always be on the back line. Sorry, behind the enemy, flanking them. Right, he's a flanker. Right, I should do that. Let's do that. And, you know, I shit on people with Reaper. So yeah, that's Symmetra. There's my opinions on her. I honestly think that she probably will see some changes. Probably to the whole shielding mechanic. It just feels a bit lackluster. I think it's really, really strong on, you know, heroes that don't have as much HP, but really weak on heroes that do. You know, chuck it, like I said, chuck it on a Tracer, yeah, it's good. Chuck it on a Roadhog, yeah, like, he can barely even notice that shit. It doesn't really matter. So I think that some changes, like maybe changing it to a percentage instead of a flat amount would be good. Maybe perhaps making her turrets maybe a bit harder to kill. I think the fact that they literally die to anything is a bit annoying, but I also do understand the fact that, you know, running into a microwave room can mean instant death. But I think that people should sort of try and use map knowledge to that regard and, you know, really pick counters. Okay, there's a microwave room, right. Let's play Junkrat. You know, quickly throw the concussion bomb in there and blow it up really quickly before it gets destroyed and take out the whole room. Play fucking Winston. Just walk in there with a Tesla cannon and burn everything, you know. We're satisfied with counters to other heroes. Why aren't we satisfied with counters to Symmetra and have, you know, things that just counter them very easily instead of having to make her turrets 1 HP and just have them destroyed by everything. But yeah, I mean, she's a high skill cap. She's a high skill cap hero, but it's high skill cap in a different way. It's focused purely on macro play rather than micro play. There's no advanced movement, there's no crazy jumping tricks. Like, yeah, you do have to jump around when you're zapping somebody, but, you know, that's not very difficult to do. It's just avoiding fire. But, you know, where to place your turrets, very important. Where to place your teleporter, very important. Shielding allies, yeah, I mean, you got to keep up the shielding on allies, but it's not exactly very difficult. But it's something you got to keep track of. So, yeah. That's basically my thoughts on Symmetra. Underrated, very, very good hero on static point defense. Probably going to see some changes, in my opinion. But very, very fun. Very, very effective when played properly. Like I said, I had a 75% win rate. I didn't even notice, honestly. And yeah, basically very, very niche as well, though. So that's the downside. So yeah, guys, thank you all for watching this. Hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned for more Overwatch content. I'll probably be making more videos like this in the future, talking about other heroes as well. So stay tuned for that. But apart from that, I'll catch you on the next video, guys. Have a good one.